UFC Fight Night Paris. Borralho taking on Nasruddin Imavov in the main event of this one. I'm going to be going through my entire full card breakdown and predictions for this event. Fun card. A lot of people making their debut. A lot of fun matchups. So, yeah, let's get it going. Starting out the card, Shauna Banan versus Sam Hughes. I'm taking Sam Hughes. I don't have to think very hard about this one. Shauna Banan is the definition of a fluke, i.e. her last fight. She got head kicked, basically out cold, rolls to her back. Pooja Tamar jumps into her guard and just leaves her arm across. She literally, there was no 2 in, 2 out. There was no thought process. She just head kicked her and freaked out and was like, oh my God, I'm going to get a finish. And then got armbarred. The most fluky win possible. And Sam Hughes is known to fraud check these types of fighters. You don't know what you're getting from Shauna Banan, and Sam Hughes beats those kinds of people. So, not to say that she's good. Both these chicks suck. But if Shauna Banan is able to win another fluke decision, I'm going to blow my head off. Renat Fakretnov versus Andreas Gustafsson. I'm taking Andreas Gustafsson. Renat Fakretnov, I believe he robbed Carlos Leal in his last fight because they were in Saudi Arabia or something. They were in the Middle East. I mean, the judges just gave him the fight that he shouldn't have won. And then the fight before that was to Nicholas Dalby that he arguably lost. So at what point is he just not going to get the nod on the scorecards when he clearly loses? It's going to happen at some point. And Andreas Gustafsson puts a f***ing pace on people. He does not slow down. He doesn't get tired. He will make it boring. He will maul you. And he mauled Chaos Williams in his last fight, and Chaos Williams is no slouch. I think Renat Fakretnov has already been fraud checked twice. Is he a favorite in this fight, by the way? It's about even. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking Andreas Gustafsson. Brad Tavares versus Robert Brycek. Robert Brycek, I thought was going to be really good, and then he fought Ihor Potieria and lost. I think Ihor Potieria is better than his record says. That's my personal opinion. But you're losing handedly to Ihor Potieria, man. Yikes. And now you're stepping in there against a crafty vet like Brad Tavares, who knows how to win a 29-28 decision. He's probably going to win a 29-28 decision, and the fight's going to look boring and slow, and it's going to suck. And Brad Tavares is going to win a 29-28 decision. Fight's going to fucking blow. Robert Brycek, I don't think is very good. He's very sloppy. I'll take fucking Brad Tavares, I guess. Moving on. Sam Patterson versus Trey Waters. I picked Sam Patterson in his last fight against Danny Borralho. He was actually a sizable underdog, if I remember that correctly. Can I look at the odds from that last fight? Yeah, he was a plus 200 underdog, and I picked him, and he won easily in the first round. Sam Patterson used to be a lightweight, and the lightweight to welterweight skill gap, I think, is very, very obvious. Trey Waters is obviously long. I think he's 6'5", pause. I think he's 6'5", is that right? Yeah, he's 6'5", holy f***. Which is huge, obviously, for welterweight. But I think Sam Patterson is going to be way, way faster. His striking has improved a lot, and his submission game is nasty. He has a lot of really good submissions. His BJJ is really good. So I have him winning this by submission, actually. I think I put submission in round 2. The prior 3 fights I have all decisions, by the way. But yeah, I have Sam Patterson by decision, probably a rear naked choke or something. I can see him catching Trey Waters coming in with a check hook. They get into a scramble. He spins, takes the back, and wrings his neck. I can see that happening. So I'm taking Sam Patterson. I think he wins in the second round by submission. Little short notice fight. Harry Hardwick versus Caye Fernandez. Caye Fernandez was supposed to fight Fares Ziam. I believe Fares Ziam had a family member pass away, so he pulled out. And now Harry Hardwick is here to make his debut. For people who are unfamiliar with Harry Hardwick, he has a weird style. It's almost like Nate Diaz-esque. Striking's a little bit sloppy. It's not anything to ooh and ah at. but he puts a pace on you and he has a chin. His jiu-jitsu's pretty fucking good. Even off his back, he's a good guard game. So yeah, that's the gist of what Harry Hardwick is known for. Yeah, and he's on a huge win streak. He hasn't lost since 2020. Caio Fernandes is really fucking good though, I think. So I'm taking Caio Fernandes. I have him winning I have Caio Fernandes by decision. I think he wins the first 2 rounds. I think he's going to be able to outstrike Harry Hardwick, and he's going to be able to land better shots on the back foot and the front foot. He does well moving backwards and forwards. He's a good counter striker. He's good walking you down. He has a lot of power in his shots. He puts a lot of pop in his shots. And yeah, I think he's getting really good. His last fight against Guram Kutateladze, he looked really good. Guram Kutateladze was supposed to be the next Georgian fighter. There was that video going around of he had Ilia Topuria and Khamzat in his corner, and he just got fucking mauled the whole time. Caio Fernandes is really fucking good, man. I think he's very well-rounded. I think he's got power. He's got speed. I think he wins this matchup. I think he wins the first 2 rounds, and then Harry Hardwick starts to kind of get a cardio edge, and he wins the 3rd round, and there might be trouble where Kai almost gets finished in the 3rd or something, and we debate about a 10-8 maybe in the 3rd round, but it doesn't happen, and he gets a and Caio Fernandes gets a 29-28 decision. So I'm taking him by decision. We'll see though. We'll see what Harry Hardwick's about. Marcin Tybura versus Ante Delija. Ante Delija is another guy making his debut. He has been training with Tom Aspinall, and he's very complete. I think that the reason. So I am gonna take Delija. The way that Marcin Tybura wins fights is he exploits a weakness. Like, he's not exceptionally good at walking you down and striking with power punches and ripping to the body and then going high. He's not exceptionally good at counter striking. He's not exceptionally good with like his kick game or his wrestling or his top control or his BJJ. He's kind of he's complete, but like in a shitty way. So these guys at heavyweight who come in and they don't have this kind of concept of this being MMA, they go into this thinking it's a kickboxing fight. Marcin Tybura is going to take you down and hold you for 15 minutes. If you go in there thinking that it's like Marcus Buchecha, thinking it's grappling, he's going to teep and stomp your knee out the entire fucking fight. Delija's very complete. I think he's more complete than Marcin Tybura. And I really like the fact that he's been locked in with the champ. So I'm taking him. I'm taking him by decision. I think that he wins all 3 rounds. We'll see, though, because sometimes I'm skeptical of the people making their debuts. Obviously, you're going to find out by the end of this card. But yeah, I'll take a couple of the guys in their debuts, but we'll see, man. I think Delija is just too complete, and he doesn't have some glaring weakness that Marcin Tybura can exploit. So yeah, I'll take Delija by decision. I think he wins 30-27. Omar Sy versus Brenson Ribeiro. Brenson Ribeiro, I don't know why the he fought Azamat Murzakanov in his last fight. I called first round brutal TKO by Azamat, and it was first round brutal TKO. He did not belong in there with Azamat Murzakanov or anyone of that level of fighter. And I think Umar Sy, he's not as good as Azamat, but he is very Cyril Gane, kind of pop your shots at range, dip in, dip out, light on his feet, always bouncing around, hard to hit. And Brenson Ribeiro really needs to plant his feet and put everything into a shot to win, I think. So I'm going to take Umar Sy. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't think that there's too many people that are taking Brenson Ribeiro. Yeah, 92% of people are taking Umar Sy. A lot of them by KO. I have Umar Sy by decision. I have him winning a 30-27 decision. If Brendan Navarro ever does connect with a good shot on Umar Sy, I don't think it's going to hurt him. I don't think it's going to put him down. But Umar Sy, he works top to bottom. He has good kicks. He doesn't necessarily headhunt. He's really light on his feet. He's going to be moving everywhere, circling out, getting to space the whole time. So I have Umar Sy winning a 30-27 decision. William Gomes versus Robert Ruchala. Robert Ruchala is a fucking psycho. For people who don't know, I've watched some film on this guy. He's absolutely fucking psychotic. Like, he tried to do like the Joaquin Buckley kick, that crazy KO. He tried to do that at one point and completely fucking missed. Ended up on bottom position, and the guy just started ground and pounding him. Like, he doesn't really think, he just throws. He's really trying to get you out of there, and he's really trying to get a highlight reel. A highlight reel KO is what he's trying to do. And more often than not, it happens. I mean, in the last fucking 6 years, he's lost once. You know, to be fair, I mean, he's on the regional scene, you know. If you want to get to the UFC, this is what you should be doing. But still, I mean, he's putting guys away pretty handedly as of recent. He has crazy kicks, spinning attacks. And William Gomes really did not impress me in his last fight, dude. Like Hyder Emil. Didn't Hyder Emil just get stiff KO'd, like, really bad by Jose Delgado? Yeah. I mean, god damn, bro. Like, I think that this style of walk you down and just overwhelm you with, oh, I'm going to throw a lead high kick, you're going to think it's out of range, and then I spin after missing the lead high kick and hit you with a wheel kick, and then you're wobbled. The next thing you know, I'm throwing a crane kick while you're backing up toward the fence, and now you're up against the fence, and now I'm going to shoot a double leg and try and suplex you into an arm bar. And I think that is going to overwhelm William Gomes, because Hyder Emil did overwhelm William Gomes. He did. That's how Hyder Emil won that fight. And then the fight prior to that, he fought Joe Anderson Brito. And Joe Anderson Brito just got fraud checked. And you're barely beating him, you know? Barely. So this fight is going to stay standing. I don't see this hitting the ground at all unless William Gomes somehow all of a sudden is a good grappler. I have Robert Ruchala winning this by first round TKO, which is very bold. But I think he's going to be able to swarm William Gomes, which he has had problems with in the past dealing with. And he's going to be able to connect with something. And I think he's going to TKO him. So, yeah, I'm taking Robert Ruchala, the debutant. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. Reese McKee versus Axel Sola. I'm taking Reese McKee. Reese McKee, I think he's underrated. Axel Sola, he's a brawler. He's a little bit of a brawler. If you go and watch some of his fights online, he has these wars, and they're really, really sloppy, I think. And Reese McKee, I think, is pretty technically sound, especially when things do get ugly. He does a very good job of reaching for the clinch and getting collar ties, and he lands brutal knees, mean elbows on the enter and the exits from the clinch. He does a really, really good job of that, and he's really aware of when things are getting when they get within elbow range. He's very, very quick to realize that and advance upon clinches or takedowns or just shots or even just, okay, we're too close, I need to get the fuck out and circle. So, not saying that Reese McKee is some fucking, untouchable monster, but I think he's just too technically sound for Axel Sola to just brawl him and get him out of there. So I'm taking Reese McKee. I have him winning 29-28 decision. I think he probably wins the first 2 rounds and loses the third, just because of a pace that Axel's going to be able to put on him. But yeah, I'll take Reese McKee. I think he's just too technical for him. Next up, Balaji Oki versus Mason Jones. I'm seeing some people say, oh, well, Bellagio's supposed to be the KO artist. Where are all the KOs? He's not putting anybody out. He's supposed to be a power puncher. Are we not remembering his last fight against Michael Aswell? Michael Aswell has one of the best chins I have ever seen in my entire life. Borralho didn't KO him, and it wasn't because, oh, well, Borralho doesn't have any power in his hands anymore, I guess. No. Michael Aswell is not from planet Earth in terms of his chin. Like, he was taking mean, disgusting shots. And he wasn't going down. I don't know how the he hasn't gone down. Because prior to this, Borralho was putting people away. And he was landing the shots that he was landing 2 years ago when he was putting people away. Those were the shots that he was landing against Michael Aswell. And he wasn't going out. I think he gets a late TKO here against Mason Jones. I'm taking Borralho. I have him by third round TKO. Mason Jones slowed down a lot against Jeremy Stevens. If I remember correctly, I didn't watch the film for that fight over again, but I remember him almost getting finished like 1 or 2 times in that fight. He slowed down a lot. And Borralho's going to have a speed advantage here, and he's going to have a power advantage. Mason Jones has a good chin, but I think he's going to land something that wobbles him, and the ref's going to step in, and we might have a situation where, that could have been early, you should have given him time to recover, something like that. But I do have Borralho by late TKO. Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig. He's not good. He's been in the UFC for how many years, and he hasn't gotten any... He hasn't built upon his striking at all. Originally, it was like, oh, his body kick is mean. He's, mean kicks that this guy's got. And then you better not grab his leg and try and take him down because he'll submit you from his back. And, oh, he's really good. And then people figured that out and just started knocking him the out. And he just hasn't done anything about it. He's good on the mic. I think he's cool, but I think Modestas Bukauskas is probably going to get a first or second round TKO here. Paul Craig's chin is very iffy, too. His striking is not good. It's terrible, dude. He's getting outstruck by Bo Nickel, man. Like, Bo Nickel sucks on the feet. Bo Nickel was landing overhands to the chest over and over and over, and he won. I'm taking Modestas Bukauskas by first or second round TKO. Co-main event, Mauricio Hufi versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm taking Mauricio Hufi by brutal first round knockout. Once again, I think he's probably, in terms of talent, just raw talent, he's probably pound for pound top 5, I think. I could completely be jumping the gun on that, but from what I can tell and from what I've seen with training footage and even just watching back his fights, he's so unbelievably talented. And I don't think that some bruiser who's going to come in there and try and just double leg you over and over and over is going to be the answer. I have Mauricio Hufi landing a disgusting uppercut or a flying knee is what I have. I think Benoit is going to go in there and try and grapple a lot, and he telegraphs his takedowns a lot. He walks you down, and when he gets you up against the fence, or not even up against the fence, but when he cuts the cage off and he has an angle, he telegraphs his shots, and you can see it coming. He loads up and drops down for a shot. Mauricio Hufi is going to see that coming, and he's going to land something. It's going to happen. And Benoit took so much damage in the fight against Moicano. Fight before that, he gets brutally KO'd. And then most recently, he fought Kyle Prepolek. And it wasn't the most dominant thing I've ever seen. And Kyle Prepolek is borderline retarded. Kyle Prepolek hasn't won in the UFC, I don't believe. He's fought Austin Hubbard, Nordine Taleb, and Benoit and lost all 3 fights. And it wasn't the most dominant thing ever. He did submit him. I'll give you that. He finished him. Thank fucking Christ. But Mauricio Hufi is going to take this guy's head off, man. It's a bad matchup, I think, on paper for Mauricio. I think that the whole style of shooting takedowns over and over and over and wearing you out, that is Mauricio's weakness that we've seen. He gets fucking tired, man. He gets really tired because he has all these big extra large movements, big feints, big sweeping kicks. It takes a lot out of you doing that. So I think that on paper, the style that Benoit has, where he's going to try to just overwhelm you, it is bad, but I think Mauricio Hoofy's too talented, and he's going to be able to see the shit that Benoit throws. He's going to be able to see it coming. I have brutal first-round knockout for Mauricio Hoofy. Caio Borralho versus Nasruddin Imavov. I have Nasruddin Imavov, and I have him by split decision. I watched back a bunch of Nasruddin's fights today. One in particular that I was looking at, this one was from a while ago, but it was the Joaquin Buckley fight, which, to be fair, was a long time ago, but I noticed it in his other fights, too. He's very, very light on his feet. Very light on his feet. Early on, he has these nasty combos where he'll feint high. He'll feint high with a jab or even a straight, and he gets guys to duck or slip, and he'll meet him there with a rear uppercut, and then he'll float back out, or he'll float back in closer to range, to like elbow range, and fire combinations. In the first 2-3 rounds, he looks disgusting. Like, he's so good. Striking's good. His takedown entries are perfect, but he gets tired every time, it seems, dude. He gets tired. He's really sharp on the feet, and his grappling is very good. His clinch work is very good. But Caio Borralho is probably the second. I would put him as the second best grappler at middleweight. Is that crazy to say that? Maybe third. I'll put Anthony Hernandez at 2. Specifically, BJJ, I would probably put Caio number 1. His BJJ is very good. Very good. And Caio really knows how to go the full distance, and he doesn't really slow down. So I think Nasruddin is going to be able to float in and out of combinations very well early on in the first 2-3 rounds. I think he wins them. I think he wins the first 2 rounds. I think the third round goes split, and we don't know who won. And then the fourth and fifth, Caio almost gets a couple submissions. He starts working the grappling really well. Nasruddin starts slowing down. When Nasruddin gets to those 5th rounds, he starts crashing in, and he'll get into clinches and stuff. And like, I don't know why guys don't like shoot takedowns on him in the later rounds in his fights, because it would work. He gets tired. His sprawl isn't as good. He's not as aware, because I mean, in the opening 2-3 rounds, he's aware of everything. He doesn't get touched. He's light on his feet. He's really powerful. He sets up feints really well. Yeah, man. I have Nasruddin Imavov winning this one. And another thing that I want to add, Caio Borralho's takedown, his double leg takedown, is exactly as fast as Khamzat Chimaev's double leg takedown. And the moment of passing guard and getting into half guard or side control or mount maybe is the same exact time as Khamzat Chimaev's passing of the guard. It's the same exact time. It's just as fast. I think Caio Borralho wins the later rounds with his grappling. I think his grappling is really, 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 really good. But I think Nasruddin is going to be too sharp in the early rounds, and it's going to win him this one. Caio Borralho does have plot armor. I mean, he's a fighting nerd. The fight before this, Mauricio Hoofy is going to have a highlight reel KO again. You know? I mean, it could happen. If we get a Caio Borralho sub, that would be so cool. But anyways, that's all I got. Oh, yeah. Bedtime MMA, by the way. He's never wrong. He's never wrong. I had split decision, and every time I always have my picks ready a week in advance. So when I go to look at these other YouTubers that post their predictions, I look and I'm always worried when I watch Bedtime. Because I'm like, I have Nasruddin by decision. Bedtime, does that sound okay? Bedtime, split decision, right? We're in agreement. If he says something else, I question myself. Because the guy is never wrong. I mean, I have to just mirror what he picks at this point. Yeah, appreciate you. Another prediction video down the hatch. This one will be happening in the morning, which I'm kind of excited for. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. And like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Peace.